Print out the darkroom drawing that LISUN designed for you. The bottom of the goniophotometer is equipped with 4 universal wheels and 4 feet. Please rotate the 4 feet upwards and off the ground. Please note that there are 2 screws on each foot. You need to screw down the upper screw that locks the foot first, leaving enough space to turn the bottom screw upward to lift the foot off the ground. Then you can easily move the goniophotometer. Move the goniophotometer to the corresponding position according to the drawing. Place the position correctly to minimize errors. This side faces the detector. There are 2 arms on the goniophotometer turntable. This is the main arm. This is the auxiliary arm. Remove the 4 small screws of the auxiliary arm cover. And remove the 4 hexagon socket screws that fix the auxiliary arm. Remove the auxiliary arm and put it away. We will use it later. The accessory box contains a small black cover plate. Cover the position of the auxiliary arm with the cover plate and fix it with the original 4 small screws. The FC200 angle controller needs to be fixed on the wall later. And temporarily place it on the ground next to the goniophotometer. There are 2 thin aviation plug wires. The short one is used to connect the goniophotometer with FC200. The long one is used to connect the detector with the PM400. 2 2-core long wires are used to connect the 4 terminals of the goniophotometer with the 4 terminals of the cabinet. A thick aviation plug wire is used to connect the goniophotometer with the RT200. Assemble the detector holder and the detector. Place the detector to the corresponding position according to the darkroom drawing. And fix the detector on the top of the holder. The detector is fixed by rotation. Please tighten it as much as possible. This is the power adapter for the detector. 4 devices in the darkroom need to connect power supply, the goniophotometer, the FC200, the spectroradiometer and the detector. You can lead the power cable from the cabinet to the darkroom to supply power to the 4 devices. In this way, the power supply of the darkroom devices can be controlled by the cabinet. If it is not possible to lead the power cable from the cabinet into the darkroom, you can also connect the 3 devices in the darkroom to the power supply separately. In addition, the standard power cord plugs of these 4 devices are also Chinese-style plugs. Please prepare suitable adapters if necessary. There are grounding terminals on the back of the cabinet and the goniophotometer. Please connect grounding lines for the 2 ground terminals. After all wiring is completed, connect the system to 220V 50Hz power supply. And turn on the cabinet, all devices in the cabinet and all devices in the darkroom. The detector doesn't have a power switch. Connect the power cord and it will automatically turn on. Connect the 2 USB cables of the cabinet to the computer. Right-click the LSG1800B goniophotometer software icon. Select Properties, Compatibility tab. Select Run this program as an administrator. The first time you run the goniophotometer software on the computer, there will be a prompt window that tells you to run the system configuration first. Click Start. All programs. LISUN. LSG1800B goniophotometer. Right-click LSG1800B System Configuration, and also select Run this program as an administrator in the Properties Compatibility tab. And then click to open LSG1800B System Configuration. Select the model of the goniophotometer you purchased, click Auto Find Port. Select PM400, click Auto Find Port. Select LS Series for the digital power meter model, and click Auto Find Port. If your power meter is LS2010 or LS2012 which is purchased long time ago, you may need to select the corresponding LS2010 or LS2012 for communication. The goniophotometer software can be run after all communication is successful. If the communication of some devices is not successful, please check whether the corresponding communication cable is connected correctly and whether the driver is installed successfully. You don't need to run system configuration first from the second time you run the goniophotometer software, but you need to repeat the above steps when the computer is changed. Regarding the angle of the goniophotometer, the goniophotometer rotates through two axes when it is running. The rotation axis of the turntable is the vertical axis. The axis of rotation arm is the horizontal axis. When the main arm faces the detector, the vertical axis is 0 degree. When the vertical axis rotates clockwise, the passing angles are 0 degrees, 90 degrees, minus 270 degrees, 180 degrees, minus 180 degrees, 270 degrees, minus 90 degrees, and 0 degrees. Do not place any debris on the goniophotometer to avoid affecting the rotation. Please note that there are emergency stop buttons on the RT200 and FC200. Please make sure that these two emergency stop buttons are released before you operate the goniophotometer. Open the goniophotometer software and click the rotary actuator control panel. If the vertical axis is not at the 0 degree position, enter 0 here and then click to rotate clockwise or counterclockwise to rotate the vertical axis to the 0 degree position. When manually rotating the vertical axis on this interface, there will generally be an error of about 0.1 degree which can be ignored. Make sure that the battery is correctly installed in the spot laser and it can be turned on normally. Install the spot laser to the horizontal axis of the goniophotometer. Tight the hexagon socket screw. Then turn on the spot laser. The laser point to the wall of the other end of the darkroom. Move the detector away. And use removable tape to paste a piece of white paper on the wall where the spot laser hits the wall. Rotary actuator control panel. Click the continuously rotate button below the horizontal axis. The horizontal axis and the laser will continue to rotate. Take a pen and trace the running track of the spot laser on the pasted white paper. Generally its running track is a circle. Rotary actuator control panel. Click stop. The horizontal axis and the laser stop rotating. Adjust the 4 small hexagonal screws of the spot laser to adjust the spot laser to the center of the circular track. Rotary actuator control panel. Click the continuously rotate button below the horizontal axis again. Continue to observe the running track of the spot laser. Repeat the above steps until the trajectory of the spot laser is a spot instead of a circle. Click stop after adjusting on rotary actuator control panel.